Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie, and let's get started. For DIY number 1, I'm going to begin with some of this air dry clay by Crafter's Square in the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take about half of this, so just break off this much, and I'm going to try to condition it a little bit with my hands, but it's going to need a little bit of water because it is kind of on the dry side, so I do use a little bit of water spray on there, just a tiny bit. And then keep conditioning it. Now I'm noticing it's making a mess, so I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper, place my piece on top, wipe my mess, and taking my acrylic rolling pin and kind of roll it out as best I can. Get rid of all those cracks, get it nice and smooth. And once I get it to where the thickness that I like and the smoothness, then I'll take my cookie cutter. And this is one that sees running, the gingerbread man running. I thought it was cute. I found it on Amazon, and I'll have it linked in my description box for you guys. But it's adorable. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this little man out and flip the whole piece onto my hand, remove the excess, and look how adorable. Run, run fast you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. Oh my goodness. So I go ahead and take the rest of this and create another one just in case one breaks. I have an extra. And I'll just take the rest and place it in a little plastic Ziploc bag, so that way I can reuse it another time or use it another time, and then this little piece I'll reuse at another time. Seal it up nice and tight, get rid of all the air bubbles, and put it away. And at the Dollar Tree I found this little set of clay craft tools. Don't really know what they're for, but I'll take one at least to kind of scrape off any excess clay that might be sticking out. But I'm sure you could use a craft stick or a craft knife or whatever. You don't have to have these tools. But I had them, so I thought, hey, I'll try it out. It worked pretty well. Got rid of all the little pieces. So now I just got to set this aside, allow this to dry. Now here's the one I'm going to use. It dried perfectly well, and it's just super light, the color of terracotta. So I'm going to go in with some of this paint from the Dollar Tree. It's an acrylic paint. It is the Dollar Tree's paint in the deep brown, and it did a great job. I painted both sides. Now I'm going to take some of the Mod Podge in the matte, also from the Dollar Tree, and give it a good coat just to seal up the paint, because you just never know. And I did both sides. Now here it is, nice and dry. And that's just a little Mod Podge air bubble. For the most part, it came out really nice. Now I'm going to take some of the Dollar Tree Puffy paint. That's for fabric, but it works on anything else. So I'm going to create a little face with this white puffy paint, and I'm going to give him a little round kind of mouth, like he's running and breathing hard. And then some of the zigzag accents on his arms and legs in this manner. And I also do a little zigzag on the top as well, just to make it all look complete. And little buttons. And then I also decided to make a little bow tie. Just real cute little triangles put together. And now I'm going to allow this to dry completely. In the meantime, I'm going to take one of these house forms from the Dollar Tree as well. Crafter's Square. Here's a skew. And I'm going to remove the jute twine. We're not going to need it at all. So put that away. Now at the Dollar Tree, I found this fabric from Crafter's Square. It reminds me kind of a cottage kind of style or aesthetic. So I'm going to make this into a cottage gingerbread DIY, decor DIY. So I'm going to open this up. Look how pretty it is. I like this vintage look. And I'm going to flatten it out some. And I'm going to place my little house form on top just to figure out placement. Now I'm going to take some Mod Podge. This one's in the gloss. I'm only going to use this one because I need to use it up. Look how old it is. It has a stuff on top. So I'm going to squeeze this on there, and I'm just going to use my little brush to spread it all on there generously. Now I'm just going to flip this over onto my fabric. And again, I'm going to be careful with placement because I'm going to use a lot of this fabric for the next 2 videos. So here I'm just going to make sure all the pieces are straight. And I'm going to take my scissors, snip off all the obvious extra or excess like this. Now I'm going to turn it back over, make sure everything's nice and straight. And now I'll go in with some more of this Mod Podge, and a nice generous amount I want this fabric to be stuck on there. So now I'm going to allow this to dry completely. Set it aside. Now here it is, nice and dry. Now I'm going to take my scissors to snip off all the excess and just set it aside. We'll come back to it in a minute. Now in the meantime, I'm going to take one of these fence panels from the Dollar Tree, remove all the packaging and jute twine. And now I'm going to take my stash of windows and doors. This is probably the only thing that's not from the Dollar Tree. Oh no, the rickrack as well later on. But everything else is from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to take one of these doors and two of these windows. I think these fit the aesthetic well. Now I'm going to go in with some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White. Give everything a full coat, and also use some of the tumbling tower blocks as well. I did a few of those. So now I'm going to try and figure out placement where I want my windows and my door. I think I'm just going to go with the typical setup. 2 windows on top and then the door in the center. But first I'm going to do the rickrack. Again, this one is not from the Dollar Tree, although the Dollar Tree does carry rickrack, but it's in the spring. And I'm going to take some of this Fabri-Tac fabric glue to adhere my rickrack. So I'm just going to do a nice line down from the top of the gable down to the side. And then press my little rickrack on top and snip off the excess. And I'll do this to the whole house. Look how adorable. I want to live there. So cottage. Now I'm going to add my door and my 2 windows. And I'm just going to use the wood glue for this because these windows and this door, they're wood. So I just figured, hey, I love this wood. So I'm just going to place the door right in the center and then the windows in their place like this. Now I'm going to allow this to dry a little bit, set it aside, and I'm going to work on my little fence panel. And I'm going to take my tumbling tower blocks that I painted, and I'm going to use some more of the wood glue, and I'm going to stack 2 on each side of this fence panel, and later I do end up adding 2 more on the other side, and later on you'll see why I do that. So it'll be a total of 8 of these tumbling tower blocks stacked in 2s. Now I'm going to take some more tumbling tower blocks and I'm going to create a base. So I'm just going to kind of freehand and make a base like this. Now I don't know what's going on with these tumbling tower blocks, but some of them were not very straight. But this is the design. I'm just going in slow motion so you can see how I made it. Now I'm going to go in with the Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White. And now here's my little house, nice and dry. And I'm going to add a nice generous amount of hot glue to the bottom back of the house and a line of glue on the base. So it'll be adhered in 2 different areas. So now I'm just going to press it against the tumbling tower blocks base, and using my craft clamps, I'm going to clamp it. That way all the glue will set perfectly. Set it aside a little bit. Now I'm going to take my fence panel, and here is where those tumbling tower blocks will come in handy. So I'm going to add some hot glue onto the pieces that are on the base, and then lay this on top, and this will hold my little fence panel perfectly. This is not very heavy, so this won't take long to set. Now here is my little gingerbread man made out of clay, and I'm going to take a brown tumbling tower block, or you could just paint one brown, add some hot glue, adhere it onto the back of the gingy man, and placing this on the little fence like he's running away from the house. Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to take some of these wood stems and some of these greeneries to embellish, and some gingies, and here's how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. This video is a part of the Gingerbread DIYs Part 1 with my sweet friend Sarah from Gingerbread DIY. We decided to collaborate again, and we're each creating 5 DIYs for this video, and then next Friday we'll do another 5. So you get 2 videos this month. So when you're done watching this video, be sure to go to my description box, or I'll have it pinned in my comments, and go to her channel and watch her video and subscribe while you're there. Enjoy! For DIY number 2, I'm going to begin by creating some gingies. I'm just taking some of these wood shapes from the Dollar Tree. It's a little pack of 14, I believe. And I'm going to use some more of this brown acrylic paint from the Dollar Tree. It's pretty creamy, and I was pretty happy with it earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and paint all these. Now I'm going to take some more of the Puffy paint. It's actually fabric paint, but it works well for anything else. I'm just going to make little faces and little buttons and just little accents. And I'll do this to all 14 of them. 2 of them I already used in DIY number 1, if you saw the final reveal photo. Just like that. Now I'm going to take one of these wooden lanterns from the Dollar Tree from Crafter Square, and it has LED light inside. And I'm going to remove all the packaging, and I removed that jute twine as well. And now I'm going to use some of the Waverly chalk pin in the color Snow White. And I'm going to take some of this red and white baker's twine from the Dollar Tree. When I first purchased this, it was a huge roll. It still has plenty to go, so if you ever see these, pick them up because they'll last you for years. And I'm just going to take small pieces to place on my lantern, and I'm going to use the Puffy paint because it's white, and that way if there's any drippings or any kind of excess, it'll just be white, and it might even look like faux icing, and it'll give it character. Plus the hot glue, you have to work super fast. This kind of puffy paint, it gives you a little bit of time to move things around and get it nice and straight. So I prefer this method, but you can always use hot glue if you want, or whatever you prefer. So I just go ahead and continue this until I get the whole thing decorated to my liking, until it looks like this. And then I went to Dollar Tree and I found another one, so now we have 2. And now I'm going to embellish with some more of these little gingies. I'm going to place 2 on the fronts of each of these lanterns. Kind of whimsical, like the little kids are just playing around. So I just put them at angles in this manner. And then I'm going to take some of the wood glue and adhere them. And now I'm going to take some of these peppermints. These I got from Amazon, but the Dollar Tree does have them on the little bottle brush trees. So if you happen to find those, these are on them. Now these larger peppermints, these are definitely from Amazon. And now I'm going to take some hot glue and just adhere these smaller peppermints onto the middles of the little gingies, like they're playing with peppermint. Just being fun. Now the larger ones, I'm going to take some more hot glue and I'm going to place them on the very tops of the lanterns, because this is a peppermint style themed lantern set. Like that. Now I'm going to take some florals. I'm going to take some of these berries and just do a little bit of embellishing until they look like this. Now I'm going to add a couple little bows to the little girls, just made out of the baker's twine. I'm just using a little hot glue. So here's the one, and then I did the other. And then of course add the LED lights, and that is it. Here's how they look, and a closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 3, I'm going to take 2 of these jumbo straws from Amazon and 4 of these long sticks, also from Amazon. And I'm going to put them inside to see how much I'm going to need to fill the inside of these straws, just to make them a little stronger. So I'm going to go ahead and snip off the excess with my EMT shears. And never throw away your excess, because those can come in handy when you least expect it. So here are the 4 pieces. Now I'm going to take some hot glue and I'm just going to stack them in 2s, because that's all that will fit inside of these straws. And so that'll be good enough. Press them down with the hot glue, and I do this to both. Just a nice quick line of glue, and place the other one on top. Now take some more hot glue, place it on the top, or actually on the side. This one I did on the side. And then I just went ahead and placed that inside the straw, like this. And then I do the same to the other side. And the reason why I did the sides is because the front and the back most likely would not touch the straw, but the side will. Allow this to set for a second. Now I'm going to take some of these shorter, wider wood slices from the Dollar Tree. Take 2 that are relatively flat and even. And I'm going to add a generous amount of hot glue to adhere these straws with the craft sticks onto these wood pieces. Allow them to set. In the meantime, I'm going to take this wood piece from the Dollar Tree with the scallop edges, and I'm going to go in with some of the Waverly wax with a little bit of water, give them all a coat, and also some tumbling tower blocks. Now I picked up this pack of mini hooks from Amazon. It had all size hooks, but I'm going to use the little mini ones. Now at Walmart, I found these really cute mini mug ornaments. They are just adorable, and I'm going to kind of stage them where I think I want them to hang, because I'm creating a little cottage mug rack with a shelf. So here I'm just trying to figure out where I want to place them. I think I'm pretty happy with putting Santa and Mrs. up top, and then the rest on the bottom. So it'll be like this. Now I'm going to use my Sharpie to mark where I'm going to drill holes for my little screws, my mini screws. And I'm going to use my drill just to make some small pilot holes. That way I can screw these in easily and not have to struggle too much. So just 4 little pilot holes like this. Now I can take my screws, my little hooks, and just place them inside, and it'll work perfectly. Now here are my 4 hooks. Looking good, and they didn't go through the back either. That's pretty great. So now I'm just going to hang the little mugs that I want to hang on the hooks. This one I was indecisive, but in the end I just placed it back. I just didn't know what to do here. But look how cute. Okay, so now with these tumbling tower blocks, I'm just going to adhere them together with some of the super glue wood glue, and just tiny bits of glue will do. If you add too much, you have to wait longer for it to set. Now here I lost some footage. I don't know what happened. I think I erased it by accident. But basically all I did was take some more of the wood glue and adhere this as a shelf. And I added some fabric, some burlap, the rest of the mugs, and some gingies. Now I'm going to add some foliage. And look how sweet. So I'm going to set this down. Now I'm going to take my 2 straws with my wood slice base. And these are going to be the stands to my cottage mug shelf rack. Now here I'm just going to add a nice generous amount of hot glue onto my straw, place my rack on top, kind of hold it for a second, allow that to set, and then I repeat the same thing on the other side, a nice generous amount, and then quickly lift up the other side, place it underneath, and then quickly stand it up because I want to make sure it's going to stand even and level, and it does. It looks great. Allow this to set for a second. And you'll see it'll stand perfectly like this. Now I'm going to take these 2 red beads and I'm just going to place them on the tops just to finish off the ends. And look how cute! This is how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 4, I'm going to take 2 of these LED candles from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take a couple pieces of painter's tape, and I'm going to carefully cover the full flame like this. Make sure it's nice and covered because we're going to be spray painting these, and I don't want spray paint on my candle flame. So here is my spray paint. This is from Amazon. It's an acrylic in this brown color. Paint them like this. Now I'm going to seal it up with some Mod Podge in the matte. Here they are, nice and dry. Now I can remove the painter's tape, and look at that, looks cute, perfect. Now I'm going to take some more of the Puffy paint, and I'm going to start making some drips. You guys know I love to make some drips. Love me some drips. So I just go ahead and go around this whole candle, and I do this to both sides, and then allow these to dry. Now here they are, nice and dry. Now I'm going to take some more of this fabric. I love this fabric. And I'm going to take my scissors and make a little notch on the end, and then just tear off a nice thick piece like this. And then using the existing piece, I'm going to do another one. So kind of guesstimate, and then snip and pull and tear till I have 2 pieces. Now I'm going to take my first piece, remove any stray strands or fibers, get it nice and straight, and I'm going to place this around my candle, make a nice knot, like here's one tie, and then tie it one more time to literally create a knot. Remove any stray strands that might pop up, because they will. Here's my knot. Get it nice and tight and kind of fluff up the ends. Pull it up to the top a little bit, a little higher, just so the little ends will be nice and fluffy. And then I do the same thing to the other one, just like this. Now I'm going to take my fabric again and cut out 2 more of these pieces. These are going to be just a little bit thinner, not as thick, and tear them off until I have 2. And again, remove any fibers that are stray. And now with these, I'm just going to create some quick bows. And I'll just show you real quick. Just kind of fold it and do a regular shoelace bow, but make it nice and floppy. Get those loops and ends looking cute. And then once I get it perfect, the way I think it'll look cute, well, my perfect. My perfect. Now I'll just take the rest of these ends. There's just ends and fibers and threads coming off everywhere, but that's okay. Just snip them off. Get everything nice and clean. Or you could leave them on. Make them look even more rustic. Yeah, you can. I mean, it's part of the tear. Now I'm going to add some hot glue to the top. And I'm just going to stack it onto the other piece to give the illusion of a nice fluffy thick bow. And then I do the same thing to the other candle like this. And look how adorable. Oh my goodness, I just love these. Here's how they look and a closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 5, I'm going to use these 2 wood decors from Dollar General, I believe. They were $1 each. They light up. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all the packaging and open these up, which they kind of pop off pretty easily. Look how easy. And I do remove the little light, but I just don't show it here. And I'm going to use that same brown acrylic paint from the Dollar Tree. It's called Deep Brown. Give them all a full coat like this. And here are the little lights. So now I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper and place these on top. And now using some more of the puffy paint, I'm going to fill in all the little holes and designs that are on these wood pieces until they look like this. Now I'm going to allow this to dry completely. And here they are, nice and dry. So now I get to peel off the parchment paper. And look at that. Looks so good. Here's my tree. Just pull that paper off. Now I'm going to reassemble everything. And I'm just going to use some more of the super glue wood glue. And just add little tiny bits to the edges. And then go ahead and place them back together until they look like this. Now I wasn't liking the top of the house, so I decided to use some more parchment paper, cut off a triangle, and using some hot glue and kind of covering it with that. So I just tacked it down with 3 little dots of hot glue, and that did the trick. Now I just took some peppermints and embellished a little house. And for the tree, I just placed a little baker's twine bow underneath the star. And I think that made it look really cute. And then I went ahead and made another little bow to place on the little girl that's on the house because she's wearing a bow, but it's only one dimensional. And so I figured a little bow on top will give it a little bit of dimension. And now I'm going to add 2 of these little gingies to the 2 sides of the tree, but level with the trunk of the tree, if that makes sense. That way when it stands up in a tier tray or any shelf, it'll look like they're just hanging out. And here's how they look and a closer look at the final reveal. If you're on Instagram, here's my QR code. I invite you to scan it and come follow me on there. I post on there Monday through Fridays, as well as TikTok. Here's my QR code for there. Here is my QR code for Facebook, also Monday through Fridays, as well as my Pinterest. Here's my QR code for there, Monday through Fridays. And my Threads account. This is my handle, also Monday through Fridays. Here's my Hometalk QR code. I invite you to come scan it. Post on there twice a month. I do have a Facebook crafting group. I invite you to come join us there. And now we're at the final reveal. Let me know what you think and which one is your favorite one. Well, I take a moment and thank Sarah of Jujubee DIY for collaborating with me again, making gingerbread DIYs. I just love gingerbread decor DIYs. It's just such a happy theme for Christmas and for all holidays, actually. I could fit them in there. Now, after you're done watching this video, don't forget to head on over to my description box, click the link to Sarah's video, and I'll also pin it in my comments for your convenience, and enjoy her video. And while you're there, you might as well subscribe, because she's very talented and you'll just love her. And also don't forget that this is part 1 of our gingerbread DIYs, and next Friday is part 2. And I'll post some reminders on my community tab for next week, and those will be super fun as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you want to see more, definitely subscribe. Until my next video, stay healthy, safe, and strong, and have a great day. Bye-bye.